Give us a holler at thelab.com.
Before I end this segment, I have one more that I know of for certain that I would like to talk about, and that would be Twitter. And I really haven't got the gist of the Twitter yet, but to my understanding, you have this profile set up on Twitter, and anybody that is like a fan or follows you, reads your blogs, listens to your music, whatever the case may be, like you as a person, think you're attractive, whatever, you write a message or you type a message into the Twitter and it goes out to everybody that follows who you are. So that's like, I mean, not to be crash anything, but if I say, okay, I'm finna go take a shit, and then I go into the bathroom, everybody on my Twitter account notices that I went to take a shit. So, I mean, if people really paying attention to you and following what you're doing, that could be, say, I just dropped the hottest single the world has ever heard. And then if you send it out to everybody that's on your Twitter account, guess what? Everybody's going to start listening. Everybody's going to want to know about the hottest song that was ever recorded. So, I mean, it's a hell of a promotional tool, but to me, it's just going a little deep where I'm just not really finna be sitting nowhere. I mean, I got a smartphone, but I'm still not just going to be sitting typing in oh, I'm about to go to Taco Bell. I felt the need to get a Mexican pizza. I mean, I ain't got time for all that. So when we come back after this after this musical selection, we'll try to talk about working more so outside, but in your area of where you live. Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
Get the video.
With Are You Pondering What I'm Pondering? By thelab.com. Shouts out to my man Thomas. He's working the camera today. Usually he's the technical guy that makes our site look so sick and make everybody wonder what's going on. Not what's going on. Makes everybody wonder and ponder what we pondering. Shouts out to Candace. She's always into something, but she really helps. So, you know, they keep us together. We working with a tight unit. Shouts out to D-Mac. Shouts out to everybody that I ain't giving no shout out to. You know what I'm saying? There's no hard feelings, no nothing. I want to give another shout out to my artist, my boy Paper, holding ER down. That was his last selection that we just heard. Off of Real Talk Volume 2. It's a couple of albums old, but we're going to revitalize it, remix it, remaster it, do it like they did Return of the Jedi and drop it back down in y'all face. Y'all not even going to understand what we coming at y'all with. Now, the next segment is about working your area. That's something my moms used to say all the time, and it's just something that stuck with me, and I took it as I got older. But working your area basically means knowing the resources that you have around you and the people that you have around you to better benefit what it is you're trying to do. Like, they say it's hard to get on here in Nashville with anything because it's quote-unquote country music city USA, but truth be told, Nashville ain't really music city for country music. I mean, to go into the history of it, we got the moniker Music City from one of the queens of England after the Fifth Jubilee singers went and sang to the queen. She started calling Nashville Music City. Now, I mean, Music Row has had a stamp on country music for about 60 years or so. That's because they have the top-notch recording stuff around there. I mean, there's a lot of artists who come through Nashville to record their stuff and drop it off. But I was saying all that to say this. I mean, there's a lot of outlets around here for somebody to be able to get on and do exactly what it is they're trying to do. Like,
yeah.
You got to be able to network around your house, around your home. I mean, if you're an artist in whatever capacity, whether it's visual arts, written arts, still photography, music, drama, whatever you're doing, there's no way in the world that you don't have samples and small pieces passed out to everybody in your neighborhood. If your neighborhood doesn't know who you are, how do you expect anybody else to take and grasp you and say, ooh, because your neighborhood usually is the person that starts the buzz about who you are. They usually the people that give you the love and support that's needed to push you to the next level to get other people outside of your neighborhood to understand who you are. So I mean, you gotta really start focusing on making sure that we get as much as we can into just our average, everyday, run-of-the-mill people. I mean, because you never know who's going to listen to this CD. Somebody's going to burn this CD. Somebody's going to burn this CD, DVD, whatever, scan this picture, pass this script over, drop off this novel, whatever you do, however you go about it. I mean, somebody's got a friend that's got a friend. It's almost like 6 degrees of separation. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I think that is what it's called. So, I mean, between 6 people, you can touch the whole entire universe. Technically. Are you pondering what I'm pondering? And another thing about working your area is, in the process of working your area, you have to ask yourself, do you want to go the attack from doing completed projects or samples of projects, up-and-coming projects? Because a lot of people get caught up with the misnomer that everything has to be a complete product. I have to put a whole album out before I can release anything to the streets. I have to put a whole movie out before I can release anything to the streets. I need my calendar completed before I release anything to the streets. Not really, because if you give a person one song on a CD, you haven't cost you, it's the same amount it's going to cost you to put out a whole album, but you giving a preview of who you are, what your skills are, what your talent is. That way you can engage more consumers. You can engage more people who are going to be the supporters of you by saying, here, take this, go visual it, go view it, go listen to it, go do whatever you have to get a piece of feel and understand who I am. So then when I come back and I have me a complete product, a movie, a script, a novel, a magazine, a calendar, whatever the case may be, when I have that completed, you're going to look for what it is I've given you. Again, you want to have another piece of that. It was like back in the day, I say mid-90s, when I was my older teens, it was a thing like Master P had all of the quote-unquote ghetto dope because he had the best beat makers. He had the hottest lyricists. So for like a 3.5-year span, every brand new album, and every month everybody went to buy the album regardless if it was good, if it was bad, if it was indifferent. It didn't make a difference. People still went and bought it. So you have to be able to empower yourself to understand, okay, if I go about giving good product at all time, people are going to go and get it, people are going to buy it. Okay, we're going to take a little, we're going to take our last break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how to be creative with your networking. Are you Okay, and I hate to cut this song off, but we're getting short on time, and we still got a couple of points that we want to touch on. And once again, you are with Are You Pondering What I'm Pondering by DaLab.com. DALAB.com. DA-lab.com. I mean, I just type it in. I don't know how to spell this shit. DA-lab.com. DaLab.com. And the last couple of points that we wanted to talk about was being creative with your circle. Like, we're a multimedia company, but we're trying to branch out and be as diverse as we possibly can. I mean, we had an idea to do a costume party, and the only place that we could get, or a venue that we could get really to do the party at, was a Latino club. So we figured, shit, why not combine the two crowds to have a good event? Now, the average people was thinking we was crazy. The average motherfuckers thought we was dumb as hell. But we had an opportunity to touch a whole nother side of the spectrum that we don't normally deal with on an everyday basis. So that's being creative. I mean, at some point in time, you got to step outside your box to really be able to touch a wide audience. That's if you want to touch a wide audience. First, you have to ask yourself, what do you plan on doing as an artist? See,
Give us a holler at the